Memento has solidified itself in the TCG as a rogue meta threat. In fact, at YCS Birmingham, it not only secured 5 of the top 64 slots, but also 3 of the top 16. What separates Memento from the rest of the meta is that, like Mermail, it doesn't need any additional or expensive engines to ensure the deck's success. Yes, the deck does benefit from Fiendsmiths, however it is perfectly capable of winning without them. In fact, most boards don't even run them. However, despite this, the deck has a bad rep for being extremely difficult to pilot. I wish I could tell you otherwise, but it is. But don't let that discourage you. In fact, today I hope to address some of those concerns by showing you some of the deck's most important combos so you can pick them up and start seeing success with them too. So let's get into it. So I want to start things off by showing off my favorite one card combo in the deck, and that's what a single Goblin can do for you. I kind of like Goblin because not only is it a good normal summon, but you can also get to Goblin using the new Goblin Biker Grand Breakout spell, which is the whole reason why we play that. We play that to get to Goblin, but also to dodge targeting negation. So we'll start off by normal summoning Goblin. We'll use its effect, which is to destroy Memento you control to send 2 Memento cards from deck to graveyard. In this case, we're going to destroy itself. Important to note that this is an ignition effect, so if your opponent has spot removal, that is something you need to be wary of. So we'll use its effect. You want to send Gatic and the fusion from your deck to the graveyard. In the new chain, Gatic's effect is going to trigger to summon itself to your side of the field. In an even newer chain, its effect will activate to add a Memento card from your graveyard to your hand. We're going to go for Memento Fusion. As soon as the fusion has added to your hand, you want to activate it to your field to fusion summon out Twin Dragon. So what the fusion spell does is that it lets you fusion summon using Memento monsters. That's pretty standard. But if a Memento is destroyed by card effect this turn, you can also fusion by shuffling cards from your graveyard into deck as material as well. So we'll use the Gatic from the field and the Goblin from grave to then summon out a Twin Dragon. Doesn't matter which zone we summon it to, it just needs to get to the field. Twin Dragon's effect is when it is summoned, you can destroy a Memento card on your side of the field to add 2 Memento monsters from deck to hand. So we will only have itself, so we have to destroy it, and you want to add Horned Dragon and Sleepy to hand. In a new chain, you want to use the Grave effect of Twin Dragon, which is if it is destroyed, you can special summon a level 6 or lower Memento from your graveyard. In this case, we only have Gatic as a target. You then want to activate Sleepy's effect, which is a quick effect to summon itself if a Memento has been destroyed this turn. On summon, Sleepy has an effect to fusion summon. So we'll use its effect to fusion summon using the Horned Dragon in our hand, the Gatic and itself on field to summon out Combined or Creation King. Creation King's effect will activate, which is to send 3 Memento cards from deck to the graveyard. So we want to start off by sending off a copy of itself, a copy of Akihiron, and a copy of Combined Creation. Okay, as an ignition effect, you want to activate the Grave effect of Creation King, which banishes itself to search the field spell. Activate the field spell, then you want to use the Grave effect of Fusion, which is to destroy a monster you control to add a Memento spell trap from deck to hand. So we're going to destroy Creation King and we want to add Bone Party from deck to hand. A few trigger effects are going to happen. So the first thing is the field spell will activate to special summon a Memento from your graveyard with a level less than the one that was destroyed. And then Akihiron's effect is going to activate when a Memento is destroyed by card effect. You can special summon this card from your graveyard to your side of the field. So we'll use that, and then we can summon out the Twin Dragon just because it's a nice big boy. Akihiron's effect will activate. You don't need to activate this, but basically I'm just showing this so that you guys know the effect. When Akihiron is summoned, it has the effect that allows every level 9 or higher Momentum monster you control to attack directly that turn. So this is something that is very useful when going second, but obviously I'm showing you this combo when going first, so just so you guys know. Okay, new chain, you want to activate the Bone Party that you searched to destroy the Akihiron to summon out an Angwitch. Special summon your Angwitch in defense vision, and then you want to use Angwitch's effect as chain link 1 to search, and then Akihiron's effect is chain link 2. When it is destroyed by card effect, you can add a banished or Memento card from your grave to your hand. So in this case, we want to add the fusion, so we have that into rotation to reinforce the board. And Angwitch, you want to search Mace. Mace has an effect as a quick effect during your opponent's main phase. As a quick effect, you can discard this card and then take control of a monster your opponent controls until the end of the turn. You need to control Combined Creation to activate and resolve this effect, but we're going to get to that in a second. So now you guys are thinking that I've summoned a lot of times, which makes me susceptible to Nibiru. However, the thing that I want to point out is that the only card we really care about getting to our field is the Combined Creation. As long as our opponent Nibirus before we summon this, we're fine. We're completely fine. That's exactly why we want to get it into the graveyard quite early on. But to ensure it stays on the field so they don't nib on its summon, you always want to try and summon out an SP beforehand, which is what we're going to do now. Because if our opponent has been holding nib, we now activate the effect of our boy in graveyard. Well, it's not an activated effect, it's just an effect to return 5 mementos with different names from your graveyard into the deck to summon itself. So I'm just busy returning some peoples into the graveyard, from the graveyard into the deck, and I guess we might as well just send the Mace to our hand because we can search it later, just in case we need it early on. So we'll send those 5 back into the deck to summon out our Combined Creation to our side of the field. In our graveyard, we want to at least have the Horned Dragon in rotation. So we'll set to this face down, and then we will end turn, and then the effect of the field spell will activate to set a Memento spell trap from grave face down. So you'll notice that I have not searched for Cranium Burst. I know it's a very good card, but I think it's bad in this current format because Rise Heals is just the thing. So the reason we also kept Sleepy in the graveyard, because over the course of the combo we can technically send a Gatic to the graveyard. Gatic goes to the graveyard, its effect will then activate to return the Sleepy to hand. Sleepy will then summon itself, fusion summon, which will be the Twin Dragon. The Twin Dragon can then search for a Angwitch and the Mace that we put back into the deck. But also we want to find a way to get Horned Dragon onto the field, which will happen via the field spell when something outside of the field is destroyed. So there's 2 ways we can go about that. The first is what I described. The second, well, the main way we will do this, right, is on resolution when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can use Combined Creation to summon a Memento monster from your graveyard to your side of the field as a quick effect. So we're generally going to use that to summon out Creation King. Once Creation King hits the field, it has a secondary effect, which is a quick effect to destroy an equal number of Memento monsters you control and cards on your opponent's side of the field. It's basically Fire King, what's it called, Skyburst. I think you guys know which one that I'm talking about. And we'll generally use this to destroy itself in one card on our opponent's side of the field. The field spell will then activate to summon out Horned Dragon to our side of the field. With Horned Dragon on our side of the field, we can then activate Bone Party to destroy the Horned Dragon to summon out Gatic from our deck. In a new chain, Horned Dragon's effect will activate, which is to destroy 3 cards on the field, including a Memento you control. So you'll destroy the Gatic you summoned, plus 2 cards on your opponent's side of the field. Gatic's effect will then activate because it was sent to the graveyard by Memento's card effect. And will then add a Memento from grave to hand, which in this case will be the Sleepy. We can then special summon the Sleepy, and we can then fusion summon into a Twin Dragon, which is what I described earlier on. Let me just show you the Twin Dragon. We summon the Twin Dragon's effect, that's the search, and yeah, it does a lot. And we still have this face down in case we need to go into Chimera. So there's tons of interruptions. You don't necessarily need the Cranium Burst. I'm trying to show you guys that you don't really need the negate, but yeah, that's perfectly fine if you guys still decide to play it. It does reinforce your board, but just remember it does nothing against Ryseal. Angwitch is probably your best starter in the deck, so let me show you what she does. So start by normal summoning her, then as a trigger effect, she will add a Memento monster from deck to your hand. You want to add Tatsunootoshigo from your deck to your hand, and then you want to use its effect to special summon itself while you control either no monsters or only Mementos. You're then going to use its effect, which is to destroy a Memento you control and then send Mementos from your deck to the graveyard whose combined level equals or less than the monster that was destroyed. So we're going to send Toshigo to the graveyard. You want to send a Mace, a Goblin, and a Sleepy. We're then going to activate Angwitch's effect, which is to destroy Memento you control, summon level 2 or lower Memento from grave. We're going to destroy itself, summon out Mace. Mace's effect, to destroy itself in this case, add a Memento card from deck to hand. We're going to go for Fusion. Activate the Fusion to shuffle 3 in for Creation King. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3. Into the deck, you summon out Creation King. His effect will then activate to send 3 Memento. So we want to send Gatic, Combined Creation, and another copy of himself. You're then going to activate the effect of Gatic to special summon itself to your side of the field. Gatic's effect to then add a Memento from grave to hand. In this case, we want the Sleepy. You then want to activate the grave effect of Creation King. Vanish itself. Get the field spell into rotation. Activate the field spell. And then we can probably safer we do this first. We special summon out the Sleepy. And then use its effect to fusion summon. We're going to go for a Twin Dragon. We'll summon it in attack position. Twin Dragon's effects going to activate, will pop itself, and then we want to add 2 Mementos from our deck to our hand. One of them has to be the Horn Dragon and the other can be follow-up. In this case, I'm going to go for follow-up in the form of another Angwitch. Then yes, we want to use the effect of our Twin Dragon to special summon out, and then you want to chain your field spell. So you special summon out 2 Mementos from our graveyard. One of them should be Goblin, and then the other doesn't really matter too much. We can activate Goblin's effect just to fill our graveyard up. So in this case, I want to put Yugioh into rotation. And then we don't have a Dark Blade, so we'll put a Dark Blade. It's just an additional name for when we summon out the big boy. Next, we want to activate this to destroy a Memento outside of the field, and to add the Bone Party from deck to hand. His effect will then activate. Well, Akiron's effect will then activate to summon itself to outside of the field. We can activate effect, not super necessary that we do. We then can we want to put this boy into the graveyard, so we'll special summon himself. And then I want to make an SP using these 2. So in retrospect, it would have been better if we used the fusion to destroy the Gatic to search the Bone Party, but this is exactly what I mean when the deck is so complicated. It's not a train smash, but it would have been better. Okay, then we're going to special summon out our boy by returning 5 from graveyard or hand into decks. One of them has to be Twin Dragon, the other one can be the Goblin, the big guy, the Sleepy, and I guess we can return the Yugioh, considering we already have a body on the field. And then you summon out the big boy to your side of the field, set the Bone Party. You could have also activated, but we'll just set it in this case, and yeah, that's the combo. So Dark Blade is another one of your starters. It has sort of it has 2 effects, right? The first effect is on summon, you can target a spell trap your opponent controls, discard a Memento card, destroy the card. That's the spell trap. Second effect is you can destroy a Memento you control to special summon a level 3 or lower Memento from your deck. So the target will almost always be Angwitch, and then once Angwitch hits the field, you're going to activate her effect to search for the horse, and then this is exactly the same combo that I showed you guys. So there's no point to go into it now, it's just a different way you get into Angwitch for additional consistency. So the horse by himself also gets you enough, so we'll start off by special summoning himself to the field, or itself. Use its effect to destroy itself, and then you want to send a Mace, a Goblin, and a Gatic. Gatic's effect will activate to summon itself to your side of the field. Activate its effect to add Mace to your hand. Since we have not conducted our normal summon, we can normal summon the Mace, and then use her effect to pop herself and add the fusion from deck to hand. We want to fuse using only our graveyard to summon our Creation King. So graveyard, graveyard, graveyard. Summon out the king to your side of the field. Using its effect, we're going to send an Angwitch, a Goblin, and a copy of itself. From here, you want to activate the effect of the big boy to add the field spell. Then want to activate the field spell, and then the Grave effect of Fusion to destroy the Creation King to add Bone Party from deck to hand. New Chain, you want to use the Field Spells effect to summon out Angwitch to your side of the field. Angwitch effect is going to activate to search for Sleepy. You can find the boy. You then want to use Sleepy's effect to summon itself. Activate its effect to summon out Twin Dragon using everything except the Angwitch. They want to use its effect to pop itself. You want to add a... I would say it's probably safest to add the Horned Dragon and the Skull Nether Dragon combined creation thing. New Chain, you want to activate the effect of Twin Dragon to summon out your boy Goblin. You're going to activate Goblin's effect to destroy himself, to send 2 Memento cards from your deck to the graveyard. We'll just think of these as names to make the combined creation. We want to fill our graveyard as much as possible throughout the course of our combo. Which names don't we have in rotation? I think we basically have everything except Mace, which we kind of need in the deck. But no need, we can just activate the Bone Party again, just to fill the graveyard, to destroy, to summon out Mace from our deck. Special summon its in defense position. Special summon out, well, there's no need to summon out Akihiron, but you know, just so you know, you do have that effect if you need it. You'll then want to special summon out the Horned Dragon and make a SP Little Knight. From here, you can special summon out the big boy. So we're going to go definitely the Mace. I would say the Angwitch, the Dark Blade, Twin Dragon, and the Gaddock. Special summon combined creation to your side of the field. Proceed to end phase. Activate the effect of the field spell to set Bone Party to your side of the field. And it's more or less the same combo you had as before. Let's try and look at one more and before we call it a day. So Mace is a horrible card to open, but if it is the only starter you have in your hand, it is still a starter. So we'll start off by normal summoning the Mace. We'll activate her effect to destroy herself, to add a Memento card from our deck to hand. It's any Memento card, even though we've only used it like exclusively to search a spell trap up until now. So we use it to search the horse. And unfortunately, I would like to tell you we can just do a horse combo like we did before, but unfortunately we have used our normal summon, so we have to do something else. So we'll use the horse's effect to destroy itself after we summon it, to send Sleepy and Gaddock to the graveyard. You'll then activate the effect of Gaddock to summon itself to your side of the field, and then in the new chain its effect to add Sleepy from your graveyard to your hand. You then want to special summon the Sleepy, and then when it hits the field you want to fusion summon. So you want to fusion summon using, well, you don't really have an option, you're using the 2 cards you have in the field to summon out Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon's effect is then going to activate to destroy itself, to add combined creation and Horsey and the Horned Dragon from our deck to our hand. The effect of the grave effect of that is going to have to activate to summon out just someone from our graveyard. We'll then special summon out the Horned Dragon to outside of the field, and then we want to special summon out an IP instead of an SP this time. So yeah, we're completely boned if our opponent has Nib. We're also completely boned if they have kind of a Bastille. So yeah, just keep that in mind. This is a fragile combo, but it is something we need to make in a corner case. So we want to basically send everything in our graveyard back into the deck to summon the combined creation, except for the Sleepy. So it'll summon itself to our side of the field. And from here, there's not much we can do besides end. During our opponent's turn, when they activate an effect, on resolution, we will be using the combined creations effect to summon back the Sleepy to our side of the field. When Sleepy hits the field, its effective fusion summon will activate, and we will use it to summon out a Twin Dragon. We'll then use Twin Dragon's effect, fusion summoning using the combined creation, or we will use the Twin Dragon's effect to destroy itself, and you'll want to add a Dark Blade, and I guess anything else you want for follow-up. So I'll probably go Dark Blade plus the horse, because that's like a good 2 cards to have for follow-up. and you will then add those to your hand. The Grave effect of the Twin Dragon will activate to summon back out the Sleepy. You can then activate IP's effect to link summon using itself and the Sleepy you summon back to your side of the field to go into an SP. So we ended on SP, which is going to banish 1, maybe 2 if we like it, plus follow up. It's not bad, but I'm sure you can tell from the other combos that it is by far the weakest combo. But yeah, that's Memento. I'm sure you guys can tell that it is quite difficult. Like as I said in the beginning, I even flumbled a little bit during the Angwitch combo, but I did explain how to sort of rectify yourself in that situation, or you know what you should have done instead. That's all for me. Let me know in the comments what else you guys would like to see, and if there's anything I missed that you feel is important for beginners, and I'll check you guys in the next.